I feel more and more pressure on me to be at the level of the expectation.
Welkom bij de 20e aflevering van Vlak voor de Gong, de podcast van Muziekcentrum De Bijlokke, waarin ik muzikanten uit de concertzaal wegpluk om het te hebben over hun pre-concertrituelen. We sluiten dit tweede seizoen af met een triumviraat aan prachtige muzikanten en de eerste daarvan is de onovertroffen Lucile Richardot. De Franse mezzo-sopraan was hier te gast met B'Rock Orchestra in een all-female programma dat zich uitstrekte van Hildegard von Bingen tot Sofia Goebajdoelina. Wij zaten neer om het te hebben over haar carrière, haar uitpuilende agenda en of ze eigenlijk nog stress heeft voor een concert. Hi, Lucile Richardot.
Hi.
Welcome in the Bijlokke.
Thank you.
You've been in Ghent for the past week, rehearsing with B'Rock.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was very busy because it's such a great amount of music, very different kinds of music, and we had to put all together the little staging of this music and the lights and the music and the space, how to set ourselves with the musicians. I mean the instrumentalists, and very busy for the mind. Yeah. And very delightful as well to enjoy this wonderful weather, very sunny on those days since Tuesday.
Yeah, you've chosen the right week to be to be here. More about the program later, but first, maybe more in general. If people listening to this podcast don't know who you are, how would you introduce yourself?
In very few words, I would say I'm 46. I'm a French mezzo-soprano, and I've come mainly from the early music, but I love to perform also romantic music and contemporary music. I've studied, among others, in Maîtrise of Notre-Dame, Cathedral Notre-Dame in Paris. And I've been recently awarded with Victoire de la Musique as Lyrical Artist of the Year. Thank you so much. But I have no degrees, no competitions, prizes. So
you just went for it.
Suddenly an award. Yeah, great.
Because before you were a professional singer, you used to be a journalist, a writer.
Yeah, but now it's a long time ago now. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
nearly
20 years ago. I was going to ask, do you still write sometimes, maybe just for yourself, or? Yes,
but mainly some biographical sketch or text about some programs that I perform as a soloist and that I have built on my own. So I have to explain my ideas, what does it come from, and so on. So I'm very pleased to write on.
You've almost had 20 years of career by now. How important was music before you decided that it would be a career? Did you grow up in a musical family?
Yeah, and not musical family, but very loving music and very sensitive to music. And it was very important in my family to be trained to learn music and to go to the concert and to listen to the music at home. And I've been a part of a children choir in my born city, Épinal. Of course, thank you. Thank you for mentioning. And I've started to sing at 11. It's always has been a part of my life, but it was my main hobby since I decided to convert myself and to change my job for being a full-time singing. So it was really invading my life, because at the end, when I was supposed to be a journalist, main of my time during the day was invaded by the music, because during the day, as you know, maybe before a concert or before rehearsals, you need to move some part of the orchestras, to drive some pickup, some truck, to rent some drums or some harps or double basses, and that's what I did for a few years, among others.
Yeah. To be able to perform at night.
Yeah, as just a hobby.
Yeah. Your repertoire is very stretched out, I'd say, from medieval times, Baroque, until contemporary music.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever want to choose something?
Sometimes I have to choose between some kinds of repertoire because of the schedule is very tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my main idea is if I'm free, if I'm available,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm very pleased to join these people whom I already know, or I'm very looking forward to know them, then I go in this project.
Yeah. This project, Seraphim, from B'Rock Orchestra, has a wild program. It's from Hildegard von Bingen up until Sofia Goebajdoelina. What was your initial response when they asked you to perform this kind of music? Because it's the very first time you're performing Goebajdoelina in concert, right?
Yeah. I didn't know her and her work previously, and I was so sad to hear about
her passing.
Her passing away last week. So no chance for me now for meeting her. Pity. But the first reaction I had when Albert requested me for this concert is, what about this strange idea, this weird idea to mix up all these kind of centuries so different in very opposite ways, and it was about the problem of the pitch for all the instruments, because it mixes early music and modern music. So I had very embarrassing questions about transposing for me, because early music, Italian Baroque music, for example, that's what I perform in this program mainly. It's supposed to be sung at 4:15 and we are in 4:40, so it's been some problems of height for me.
Is that such a difference because it's only a few hertz?
Yeah. It's it completely changes the light, the brilliance of a piece. If it has been written or thought for a kind of tonality, one tone lower or higher, it's
completely different.
It gives another light, another color of the piece. It's another signification anyway. So maybe it suits, but it's not relevant for the mind of the music. If it's joyful, if it's too low, suddenly it sounds like funeral music,
yes.
for example.
Yeah, but you've got that all figured out by now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Something else that binds all the composers on this program is the fact that they're all female composers, an all-female composers program. You recorded music by the Boulanger sisters. There's a Lisa Lehmann CD coming up.
And a part of Rita Strohl's CD,
yes, of course,
as well.
I've seen that as well. This isn't really a question, but there's more light on female composers these days.
Yeah, thanks to these recordings, I know better every day all these women that have been hidden from us from ages. And we can recognize some influences from all the male composers who were their teachers, for example, or maybe their ideals and idols as well. So it's really interesting to recognize the style in writing of other composers, but their own style as women and as composers as well. So in Boulanger, it's really obvious that it's really influenced by Gabriel Fauré, but also, as for Lily Boulanger, by Stravinsky. As for Lisa Lehmann, it's a mix between Johannes Brahms, for example, and French music, and Vaughan Williams as well. So it's really interesting to feel the cultural wind and musical wind that was blowing in their minds at this moment, as well as students students, but also as mothers or married women, and performers as well, because most of them were pianists or singers, former singers, and conductors as well, as for Nadia Boulanger. Yeah, I like to make it wider in my mind, to know more about these ladies. And now I can add in my culture, in my general background, some Sofia Goebajdoelina, and this new piece from by Lily Boulanger that I didn't know yet. And what else? Perucona, Caccini. I had already sung this piece from her, and the O che nuovo stupore. But I'm very pleased to recognize also some influences by Monteverdi or not Caldara, Caccini, the father, or so many others.
Yeah.
So
more and more the feeling grows that there used to be an idea that there were fewer female composers, but that's not true. They were just, their compositions were not written down, or they were not passed down, or they were not played. It's not that they weren't there, just that they weren't played, or that they...
Yeah.
So I think it's brilliant that we can perform an entire program, and we have to be able to find it normal that we can play an all-female program.
But some of them are not known only from now. Hildegard von Bingen, for example, is really well known for many years, if not centuries. She didn't need any support to be known. But the others, that's true. There were only daughters or brides or just sisters of a famous other musician. So they were in shadows anyway. But now we know more about them, and sometimes in the scores collections of for example, William Lowes, we have the signature of Lady Mary Daring as for English music. And so now we know that these 2 or 3 pieces were composed by her.
Yeah.
But
he wrote them down, or he collected them. Yeah. Much like Felix Mendelssohn took pieces from his sister.
But sometimes we don't know if by chance these famous composers would have been able to steal some music by women. We don't know exactly. There is a show like that, I don't remember from whom, but they supposed that all the music, anonymous music, would have been from a female hands. So it's interesting to think maybe all the unsigned music could be from women. So maybe it's a big universe to reveal.
Yes.
Yet.
And as you mentioned, you've been performing since 2007. Ish.
Yeah.
Yes.
My beginning.
Yeah.
Your
beginning. Not the beginning of all music, but your beginning. 2007. Played a lot of concerts since then. Do you still feel stressed before you go on stage?
More and more.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because maybe it's a question of the level or the how can I say that? It's more and more demanding, and the expectations from the conductors, from the orchestra, from the audience also is growing up. So I feel more and more pressure on me to be at the level of the expectations. Okay. So maybe it's maybe a question of age, elderness. It's always new programs, and it's a little traffic jam in my mind and in my schedule as well. That's why maybe sometimes it's very few time between 2 productions, and it's a bit tricky sometimes to feel that you're ready.
Yeah, because you do a lot. Right?
Yeah, and in different ways. So sometimes it's off score, staged, and some of the time we just meet each other 2 days before the concert, and it's very new scores for me.
Yeah. But it's not paralyzing stress. Is it helping the stress to focus, or? Yeah,
it's feeding stress.
Yeah, feeding stress.
Yeah,
that's a good name for it. Is there a difference in the way you approach recitals like with B'Rock or an opera production or a duo recital, for example? Is there a different way to prepare for such concert?
Yeah, maybe, but I think it's the same mental disposition.
Okay.
But I rather prefer to be in a big crew. I love the choir, I love the polyphonics, and I love a pretty big team around me. Because sometimes it's really nude to be just one voice and a piano, but I love it also. But or a harpsichord, but I love to be surrounded
Part
more.
of a gang.
Yeah.
More, yeah. And on stage or also off stage?
Both. Yep.
Okay. What is the very last thing you think about before you go on stage?
Have I not forgotten my tuning fork, for example, or my scores?
This week there were also school children attending one of the rehearsals. You had your tuning fork with you during rehearsal, but do you also use it during the concert to find your pitch?
Yeah, to be sure about the pitch. Yeah,
because it's so nude. Because that was the Goebajdoelina piece. So it's just you and a double bass. So
it's
a lot of a cappella as well. So you have to be correct.
Yeah. It's a duet, but actually it's more a dialogue because we are very rarely together, and it's really difficult to grab my note in his notes as well, in the note of the double bass, because it's really harmonic notes and bariolage as well, so it's really cloudy. So maybe just to be sure, to comfort myself, I take the notes, the A from time to time, but less and less.
You mentioned that you had a busy schedule with lots of concerts. Is there something you prefer to do above all the others? Like, do you like to do more opera, or do you like to do more recital?
Recitals are more exciting because it's always new, not really new scores each time, but
there is a lot of repertoire to discover.
Yes, and it comes again very often. So I have many concerts of different kind of recitals. Compared to the opera, the time is longer. You stay 1 month, 2 months sometimes in the same town, rehearsing the same score. And at the end, it's the time seems to be very long. You're very looking forward to open it and to be at the premiere and
to get on with it.
And to be at the following and the following project after that. So I love the diversity of the concerts and the recitals, but I love also to be quiet and sure about the memory, because at the opera you have a great time to get prepared to rehearse. So it's not the same exercise.
And maybe the diversity of the two, if you're busy performing recitals, you want to do an opera, and if you're doing the opera, you want to do the recital, and so it keeps on building each other. It's
always the same. When you are performing some German Baroque music, you want to perform some English music or some romantic music. You're never happy at the place you are at the moment you are.
Grass is always greener.
It's always like that. But
what I've noticed, and this isn't not to be harsh, but when I was preparing this, is that you do not have what a lot of soloists have, is a personal website or social media accounts. Is that a deliberate choice?
In a way, it's in order not to be too often harassed by the social media, because I'm very slow with it, and I don't know how to practice with this, and it's not in my spontaneous way to communicate. I'm a lady from the 70s, so I need time. I need more time to enjoy all the things, all the events. I know professionals or passionate people are faster than me in this kind of social media, so I let them do.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I see they have posted something and I just share. But it's always such a lack of time to reply to my emails, to train with my music and to save time with my friends or family. And it's not in my culture because I've not grown up with this. So I don't feel the need to be present in this kind of.
And your calendar is full, so you don't need it to.
Yeah, in a way. Sometimes I just feel guilty for my audience because they ask me, where can we find your schedule to know where you are, where we can go and upload you, for example. So it's the only one regret I have, not to have any website, to have all the informations at one place about my schedules. But I know they can find it.
Google is everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, and there is a very useful website named Opera Base.
Yes.
that does this job for me. So it's really useful.
Yeah.
And Harmonia Mundi website has many informations about my schedule, so I'm really sorry for that. But very thankful for the other websites collecting all these informations.
Thank you, Opera Base. Maybe one last question.
Yeah.
What is your bucket list wish to perform? It can be a place to perform. It can be some repertoire to perform. What is your ultimate bucket list?
Maybe church music in a church.
Church music in a church.
Yeah.
More specifically?
It's really a special pleasure for me to perform Bach Passions in April, or it depends on the time of Easter, but you see what I mean. I love to share powerful and deep moments with the audience that have specific meanings about this kind of burial music for Jesus in the time of Holy Week, and
in the place where it was created for.
Yeah, and with a very good acoustic and a special moods with the light, with glass windows, with the shadows of a church. I love it.
Yes. Okay. Lucile Richardot. Merci.
Thank you so
very
much.
For the
Dank u.
En weg was ze, Lucile Richardot, naar het podium voor een concert met 10 eeuwen muziek. Een heel fijn gesprek met de vrouw die alles op alles zet voor haar passie. Ik kan er alleen maar met bewondering naar kijken. De muziek die je vandaag hoorde waren fragmenten uit achtereenvolgens Ad Gaudia ad Jubila van Maria Xaviera Pericona, Ein Engel van Sofia Goebajdoelina, Le Sirène van Lily Boulanger en tenslotte opnieuw Pericona. Alle opgenomen tijdens Seraphim, het concert met B'Rock Orchestra hier in de Bijlokken. Dit was Vlak voor de Gong, een podcast van Muziekcentrum de Bijlokken. Vond je de podcast leuk? Laat dan zeker een review achter op Spotify, Apple of YouTube en deel je liefde met vrienden, collega's en familie. Bedankt om te luisteren en tot de volgende keer.